Welcome back to The Lost Tactician, where we unearth the survival strategies of those who came before us. Today we venture into a story equally vital to warfare, the knowledge that allowed civilizations to build structures that have outlasted empires. Picture, if you will, weathered wood that has defied centuries of rain, snow, and relentless sun, wood that remains as strong as the day it was finished. For thousands of years, Native American tribes didn't wage war against decay with chemicals and synthetics. They waged war with the earth itself. This is the story of lost earth paints, the mineral finishes that made wood unyielding. Walk past any abandoned homestead in America and you'll witness a painful truth. Modern wood treatments promise durability, yet we're trapped in an endless cycle of replacement and decay. A deck built 5 years ago already shows mildew. A fence erected a decade past is splintering and compromised. We spend billions treating lumber with synthetic compounds that leach toxins into soil and groundwater. Yet venture into archaeological sites across North America, and you'll find structures far older than our nation itself, still bearing the protective patina of ancient pigments. Pueblo dwellings painted with earth ochres stand defiant after centuries. Wooden implements retrieved from burial sites show no signs of the rot that would claim modern wood in mere years. This wasn't luck, this was knowledge. Native American tribes had solved a problem that we, with all our technological prowess, still struggle with. The question is stark. What did they know about wood preservation that we've catastrophically forgotten? To understand these ancient finishes, we must venture beneath the surface, literally. Native American tribes were geologists and conservators, reading the landscape for hidden treasures. Across the arid southwest, iron oxide deposits stained the earth in brilliant reds and yellows. Where limonite weathered near the surface, it offered ochres of gold and burnt sienna. Where hematite crystallized, it provided deep crimsons that seemed to capture the essence of endurance. Each color carried profound significance, selected with precision that modern science has only begun to understand. Red ochre wasn't merely striking. The iron compounds within it possessed natural antimicrobial properties that actively resist fungal growth and bacterial decay. Yellow ochre offered UV protection while signaling permanence against the relentless sun. In regions where copper deposits occurred naturally, tribes developed greens and blues. Malachite, the copper carbonate mineral, became far more than decoration. Copper compounds are extraordinarily effective at inhibiting fungal growth and wood-eating insects. A painted surface treated with copper-based pigments wasn't merely decorated, it was biochemically fortified against the organisms that cause rot. Darker finishes held equally potent secrets. Charcoal created blacks that spoke of strength, while manganese dioxide offered oxidative properties that strengthened wood's cellular structure. Nothing in this palette was chosen idly. Every pigment was an active agent in the war against decay. So to really grasp the power behind these mineral pigments, we need to appreciate the depth of ancient wisdom at play. Native American tribes didn't just select colors for beauty, they chose them for their protective qualities, their ability to withstand the elements and their role in preserving what mattered most. Every stroke of paint was a testament to knowledge honed over generations, and honestly, it's a legacy that still has much to teach us today. The genius extended far beyond pigment selection. Mineral pigments were ground to extraordinary fineness, allowing them to penetrate wood's porous structure deeply. But pigment alone cannot protect. Tribes employed natural binders derived from their environment, animal fats rendered from bear, bison, or fish, each chosen for specific properties. These fats, when mixed with ground minerals, created emulsions that penetrated far more effectively than water-based solutions. Many tribes incorporated plant-based emulsifiers such as yucca root, the soap plant, whose saponin content acted as a natural detergent. This allowed fats and pigments to blend seamlessly, creating paint that didn't merely sit upon the surface but saturated deep into the wood structure. Application techniques demonstrated remarkable understanding of material science. Pigments were applied in layers, each allowed to cure before the next was added. This created composite finishes with remarkable durability, a principle Western materials science wouldn't formalize until the 20th century. Some tribes employed charring techniques, deliberately burning wood surfaces before application, fundamentally altering the wood's cellular structure and rendering it far less susceptible to moisture and insects. The results speak across centuries. Archaeological investigations of ancestral pueblo and structures reveal wooden beams bearing original mineral finishes after more than 700 years of exposure. The paint hasn't merely survived, it has actively protected the wood beneath it, preventing degradation that would inevitably claim unfinished timber. The implications extend far beyond historical curiosity. We stand at a critical juncture where environmental consciousness demands we reconsider our relationship with materials and preservation. The mineral finishes developed by Native American tribes offer a template for sustainable practice our civilization desperately needs. Contemporary wood preservation relies on synthetic chemicals that provide protection but contaminate environments. A raised garden bed treated with modern preservatives becomes a vector for chemical exposure to vegetables we eat. Iron oxide and copper compounds used in traditional finishes, by contrast, are inert elements that bind to wood's structure rather than leaching into the environment. They are literally part of the earth, returning safely when wood finally decays. The sustainability equation extends further. Traditional mineral finishes require no energy-intensive industrial processing. A handful of earth, ground with stone tools, mixed with naturally rendered fat or plant-based emulsifiers, this represents a closed-loop material system operating without fossil fuels or toxic manufacturing byproducts. A furniture maker, homesteader, or architect could source these materials locally, applying knowledge requiring no proprietary systems or corporate licensing. Modern craftspeople experimenting with these ancient techniques confirm the wisdom of the past. Wooden structures treated with iron oxide-based finishes demonstrate exceptional weather resistance. Fences and pergolas protected with mineral finishes retain integrity through decades of harsh exposure. The question is no longer whether these techniques work, it's why we ever abandon them. Imagine a fundamental shift in how we relate to wood. Structures built for genuine permanence, not planned obsolescence. A wooden building maintained with the same materials that protected it initially, requiring no synthetic interventions. Outdoor installations that weather beautifully rather than deteriorate. This is not fantasy. This is the baseline achievement of civilizations that understood wood not as a commodity to be exploited, but as a material to be respected. The economic implications are staggering. Reduced waste, lower resource extraction, fewer manufacturing emissions. But beyond economics lies something deeper, a philosophical realignment with our material world. The tribes that developed these finishes understood that human ingenuity exists not to dominate nature, but to work in concert with it. Every mineral was drawn from the earth. Every binder derived from their immediate ecosystem. Every technique refined through generations of observation and experimentation. This is the wisdom we must reclaim, not through nostalgic romanticization, but through rigorous understanding of what these techniques accomplish and why. Modern scientists and builders can understand the molecular mechanisms behind these finishes and integrate that knowledge into contemporary practice. We can honor the legacy of Native American innovation while bringing it into conversation with modern precision. The structures we build today will either crumble into waste or endure as monuments to thoughtful stewardship. We possess the knowledge to choose endurance. What remains is the will to implement it. The Lost Tactician exists because history holds lessons vital to our survival. Today's episode reveals one that sophisticated solutions often lie not in complexity, but in wisdom earned through generations of attention to the material world. If you found this exploration into ancient wood preservation compelling, like this video and share it with others who care about sustainability and indigenous innovation. Subscribe to The Lost Tactician for more investigations into how our ancestors solved the problems we still struggle with today. Because the future doesn't lie in inventing new technologies, it lies in remembering the old ones. We'll see you next time.